Hello in TV land, it is your boy Freelancer Joe, and it is once again time of the week for Drinks with Joe. Well, I say time of the week, but this has been the first time in a very long time that we've had Drinks with Joe. However, hopefully this will be the first in a long, unbroken streak of regularly scheduled Drinks with Joe, as well as part of a long, unbroken streak of regularly produced, sweet content for you, my wonderful and loyal and awesome viewers. So, and let me see if I can remember how this is supposed to work. Drinks with Joe. I'm supposed to have a drink, right? Right. So I will go ahead and pour that drink, and while I'm doing that, I'll ask you, how are you all doing today? It is a fine Saturday afternoon. Not quite fully spring weather, I'd say. It's like maybe 5 or 10 degrees, just a little bit too cool to really call it spring-like weather. Closer to fall-like weather, you ask me. Yeah, it looks about right. But it's still nice. A little cloudy, but mostly blue skies, reasonably good temperatures, and sunny. Sunny. Where do I put? I'll put this here. This, by the way, is Russian Standard Platinum vodka. I bear the Russians no ill will. They certainly do make some good vodka. However, stay away from the St. Petersburg variant of that. Go with the Platinum. Trust me on this. Yes, actually, let me put this over me. Let me go ahead and pour this drink. And I assume by now you already told me how you all doing. You're doing good and fine? Fantastic. Wonderful. As for me, I'm also doing fantastic. Well, let's be honest. And I'll be honest because I'm an honest man. Fantastic and not so fantastic. But in comparison to how I've been doing, much better. And I am nothing if not an optimist. Perhaps I'm more a cynical optimist or an optimistic cynic. Which one is more positive? I'm the positive one. So if you caught my Thursday and Friday episodes and were paying attention, you were paying attention, weren't you? You may have noticed that I was talking about the feeling of an impending catastrophe. Catastrophe. Impending. But it turns out that that's been mostly avoided. I mean, the skies are still a little cloudy, but things didn't go boom. So, you know, I'm feeling great about that. Now, as with many things related to men, it had to do with a woman. And in my case, that would be my honey bunny. So, well, I like to be an open book. Of course, I have to respect her privacy somewhat. So I'll not give very specific details. Simply that she was the victim of a betrayal. And it was a betrayal that painted me as a betrayer. So that's kind of like Inception, I guess, maybe. I don't know, you gotta go back a couple layers to really figure it out. Anyway, it took a couple of days for us both to figure it out. And naturally, during that time period, things were quite tense. And we're still dealing with the aftermath. For my part, I'm happy to learn from the experience and move on. But my honey bunny, she's just too sweet and innocent and is deeply hurt by the whole affair. Completely understandable, too, to be honest. That kind of... The actions that were taken by the person that took it, it's like the very core definition of a very bad betrayal. It's also very romantic drama, dramatic romance, that kind of thing. Yes, it is very much like that. Except, however, we avoided the middle of the movie where, you know, things split up and we may or may not get back together. Again, the clouds, the sky's still a little bit cloudy, I think, but we'll just have to navigate those choppy waters. But anyway, since she's so hurt by it, I have to do my best to try and cheer her up, and hopefully with time the wounds will heal. But like I said, she's just really too sweet and innocent. She's never experienced any type of betrayal, well, anything as devious as what occurred. Now, you'd think I'd be more upset about the whole matter. And by all rights, I really should be. I should be furious about the whole thing. I mean, with the pain inflicted upon myself and my honey bunny, and what could have happened because of it. Yeah, I really should be furious. And yet I'm not. On the one hand, I have my thresholds are interesting. Most things that would drive the average person into frothing rage just doesn't work on me. But on the other hand, some small thing that most people would not even register would get me to storm out of whatever I'm doing. So, I guess this is one of those cases where it's better to be just kind of me and just look at it a little bit more objectively. And really, I'm just willing to learn from it, and really, really happy that what the intended effect was did not happen. But I also, I'm also not furious about it. I'm still, I think much less highly of the person that did it. But I also admire it, the attempt, in a weird way, and this is again from just an objective perspective. Being able to destroy the happiness of two people over a very small thing is just so petty that I just can't help but admire it. I mean, I engage in pettiness myself every now and then, but this is an artisan at work. This is like, Da Vinci or Michelangelo deciding to capture pettiness on the Sistine Cathedral. I mean, it's just, wow, a true showcase. A true showcase of the pettiness and banality that a human being is capable of. But it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I understand the reasons why, and then I understand what humans are. So, my course of action would simply be to minimize interactions with said person. But then that's also because I don't really have a history with that person, or as my honey bunny does. So that's another part of the reason why she's having a very, very hard time adjusting to it. One, it's inconceivable to her of somebody being willing to do what was done, and then for somebody that I don't say close. Well, obviously, apparently they weren't that close. But for somebody that you've known for so long to do that, I think you really don't know who a person is and what they value until they feel desperate. Then you can find out real quick who and what they are. And sometimes it's not a happy answer. But, you know what? That's not the whole point of Drinks with Joe. Well, it's part of the point. Part of the point is for me to share bits of me with you. So that you get to know me, you can keep up with me, and so that I'm not just this stunning visage of masculinity with a sculpted musculature that rivals the gods. I'm more than that. I am a human being. I can relate. And hopefully you can relate to me too. Because I'm also sure that you are works of art as crafted by God. But that's one part of it. And the real main purpose of Drinks with Joe is simply to figure out, to recap the week. Look back at the events and figure out what went right so that I can continue doing that, or, learn from it to continue doing it. And figure out what I did wrong so I can learn from it and figure out what I need to change. Because as Freelancer Joe always says, when he's actually saying things, is if you want to get somewhere, it helps to pay attention to where you've been. Now, if you've noticed, I'm Still doing my little eye shift. I think it's just an eye shift. I don't think I tilt my entire head. It's still just the eye shift, because I do have my notes over here. It's a smart move. I'm easing myself back into this. Not just the whole Drinks with Joe spiel, but also the drink itself. Only enough the booze, obviously, when you're emotionally stressed, it is tempting. However, I am a man of self-control when it comes to some things. Booze is one of them. Booze is one of them. It's the problem is, my issue with booze is quite simply this. You'd think because it's actually a poison that I wouldn't do it, but and it can be costly too, so you'd think I would do it that way. My issue is actually it's sleep. Believe it or not, it's sleep. For every, I may have mentioned this before, but basically for every drink I have to tack on like an hour of sleep. And so doing that during the weekdays is pretty much out of the question, because I have a very small window to sleep, and I would much rather go to sleep stressed so that I can wake up early enough to avoid traffic, than go to sleep soused and then wake up and feel all stressed out because I have to go deal with traffic. Because then I have to spend the entire day stressed, as well as probably drowsy from the alcohol too. So why do I do it now? Well, it's Saturday, and you know, I can sleep in just a little bit on Sundays. Let me see. What do we want to cover first? Well, we have three things that we are supposed to normally cover in these in my words. I didn't write notes for this. The three things we are supposed to cover during these episodes are my three primary things that I share with you. I was going to say the three primary things in my life, but really there's four. The three that I share with you are, of course, my work, my health, and my freelancer activities. Number four is my honey bunny, and to be honest, she takes precedence over everything else. But you know, I share what I can, and I wonder if maybe talking about this whole betrayal thing might have been sharing just a little bit too much. But on the other hand, I think I was vague enough, and I think I conveyed the correct, a very generally accurate description of what happened. Verbal tick. Despite that break, I still have the verbal tick. I guess that's why they call it a tick. It doesn't really go away unless you force it to go away, or you condition yourself to make it go away. You condition yourself to no longer use it. Let's see. Great, I lost my train of thought because I was talking about verbal ticks. Cover three areas. Honey bunny has precedence. Talked about my honey bunny. Didn't say too much. Okay, I mean, I guess that would be good. Then we should probably segue into the things that I'm supposed to be talking about. It's gonna hit me what I meant to say as soon as I pause for the intermission, which I will do just about now. We're still a little bit early. It's like the 14-minute mark, but I'll pause for now because it's not enough time to go into the next area that we're supposed to cover, and I'm just going to be stumbling trying to fill that last minute. So we'll break for intermission, and we'll be right back. Is it supposed to be a 10-second intermission or a 30-second intermission? Well, I guess we'll find out. See you in a jiff. Alright, and we are back. How did you like the intermission? Obviously that was not a meme. I haven't gone meme farming for a long time, and I really need to do that. Well, don't need to do that. It would please me if I went and did that, because that would give me more memes to share with you, and I just find memes incredibly funny. It speaks a lot to a person. I think I think if you want to find out, there are two ways to find out who a person is, really. One is, wait until they're desperate and see what they do, and see what kind of memes they laugh at. That's probably a good indicator of the type of person they are. Let's just say that the memes I share with you, they represent maybe 30%. They represent only a fraction of my true psyche. Because I got lots of memes that I can't share with you. Funny from my perspective, and probably funny to a lot of people's perspective too, but also not necessarily socially acceptable. Maybe I have to go to RedTube or find a different channel where I can put up those sorts of things. We'll see. This is fine for now. Alright, so now we're actually going to do what we're supposed to do and talk about the 3 areas of my life that I share with you. We got work, health, and freelancer activities. So, work, we're going to cover first because that's probably where the biggest thing happened, which is we finally had our big office move. Well, actually, they staggered it out. We had one building, and they moved people out in waves into a new location. And it was finally my group's turn this week. And so now we are in Swank New Digs. Yeah, I kind of grunt when I'm asked about it at work, but mostly because if the boss hears that you kind of like where you're working at, then it might come back to bite you when it's time for pay raises. They'll be like, we'd like to get you a pay raise, but you should probably consider where you're working at as part of a compensation package, blah, 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 blah. Now, I can't wait for the IRS to decide to start taxing people, because they already tax people in benefits. So, once the government starts really getting stretched for money, they're going to start taxing you on how nice where you work at. Well, I don't know if they're going to do that before they start charging you taxes for how much you breathe. But anyway, Swank New Digs. Got big windows to look out of. It's an open office area, which is not so great, but my group's located kind of at the corner, so we're not in the middle. We're getting bombarded by both sides with sound, so it's nice. And fancy standing desks, new monitors, new computers. I mean, it's nice. They even have this is actually a campus, so there are multiple buildings on it, and at least in our building, they have a very nice smelling cafeteria. I say smell because I haven't actually gotten any food, because it takes work to maintain this physique, and I try to avoid it, but they got some good smelling stuff in there, especially in the morning. You go down there and you smell the corned beef hash, the scrapple, the eggs, and I mean, they actually have chains in there too. I think they got a Moe's, Southwest Grill, even a Starbucks. But the best thing about this whole move is, for me personally, the commute. Because so much of my life is driven by commute. It's not even funny. So much of my work life is driven by commute. It's not funny. I mean, any job that I could actually just walk to would automatically merit consideration by me, just because I don't like dealing with the commutes. But my PM, that is my afternoon/evening commute. It's really afternoon because I don't leave in the evening. I leave in the afternoon. But it's down from 45 minutes to around 25 minutes. And my morning and commute is down from 30 to 35 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes from my parking spot in the apartment to my parking spot at work. It is great. And that commute reduction has just made it so much easier for me to stick with resuming my training, as well as this freelancer stuff. So that was also really a big benefit, I think. The big reason I started this back up again, because I needed to, and March 1st was the start of the month, so it felt right to start it up again. But then just being able to get home earlier again makes it a whole lot easier. And I guess I just lost a lot of mental energy doing the normal other commute, even though I did it at a time that was less stressful to me. But, yeah. As for the actual work that I, get paid to do, it's going pretty well. Going real well. We had an internal demo just among a few people. That went well with regards to what I had been working on, and the next week's just going to be some cleanup and tweaks. So nothing too challenging, and then we'll demo it to the next higher level, I suppose. Nothing really needs to be changed there, I think. So we'll keep that going, and we'll continue getting used to this oh so sweet short commute. So sweet. It puts a smile on my face just thinking about it and what it used to be. What was the worst I ever had? I think the worst was something like, it's like 45 minutes in the morning, so it'd be like an hour and 15 back home. And God help you if you hit traffic, because then you're like at 2. Although it seems that things have gotten worse now. And one bad incident, and you might as well just stay at work and sleep under your desk, apparently. I think that happened fairly recently. There was a tanker truck, a gas rig that fell over next to a bridge or whatever, a main bridge on a major artery. And, they had to call in hazmat to clean it up, and they couldn't. It happened right before, it happened like 3 o'clock, when most people that want to leave early start leaving early. And then lasted all the way until like midnight or something for them to clean it up. So people were hosed. But with a 10 to 15 minute commute for me, that's not a problem. And to be honest, since we're in a new building, if I had to stay in a new building, I really wouldn't mind. I mean, we got food to eat, and there's even a gym there, I think. There's probably got to be a gym. But anyway. And speaking of gym, we will move on to the next subject, which is health. Health, which encapsulates my training and my diet. Now, my training has continued, albeit I'm only hitting 4 out of my old 5 training routines. I used to do Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know where number 4 went up to. Wait. Sunday, Monday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, 5. This is still the first drink, by the way. But now I'm, as of right now, I've been doing Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm having trouble knocking the haze out on Sunday. But, to be fair, it's working. I'm now only 7 pounds off from my lowest recorded weight, which is okay. And what does that put me at? I mean, that's pretty much just equivalent to me having a bad few days off of a diet. So I'm pretty happy with that. Although I will be blowing it today because I've already pre-ordered something from Uber Eats, and it's going to get here at 3:30, probably 4. When I order stuff for delivery, I try not to order during peak hours, just because it's kind of I feel bad for the drivers if they have to deal with lots of traffic, so I try to order during off hours. Plus, it's when I'm used to doing it, so that's fine. That's the number of training. As for the training itself, my strength levels are looking pretty good. Not fully back to the number of reps that I do for the weights, but I'm at my baseline weights for just about everything. Well, just about everything. Obviously, if my old routine was 5 training sessions, there were 5 exercises I did. Since I'm only doing 4, there's only 4. Okay, so the old training exercises were squat, shoulder press, front squat, bench press, deadlift. Now, we're not doing Sunday. So Monday I do squat, Tuesday's break. Wednesday I do squat again. and then Thursday's bench, and Friday's deadlift. Why did I do squats twice? Well, because in the previous one I did squats twice. But why am I not doing front squats? Because when I stopped before my schedule deviation, I was really concerned about my back, and front squats actually place a lot of stress on the core region. So I wanted to make sure that my core was solid before I got that back in. But speaking of the back, it's fine. It's pretty good. So I might be able to get those front squats in. I mean, the back still feels a little stiffness every now and then. So maybe I'll just take it easy, make sure I do my stretches. I might honestly have to find a masseuse one of these days, or a physical therapist, to kind of work out the kinks in that. But other than that, no real major injuries. Although, except for the right knee, but that's not related to my training. That actually kicked in the first day at the new office. And my speculation, and it seems to be bearing out, is it's actually because of the standing desks. Either my posture's off, or I just gotten too soft from sitting in a chair all this time. But yeah, I guess I shift my weight and put most of it on the right leg. So I'm gonna have to slowly reacclimate my body to standing up all the time, and obviously be very, very careful during my training to not aggravate that. But I think I'll be able to do that. Let me see. So that's the training. Obviously, if I'm only 7 pounds off my low, diet's solid. And well, we're cutting it close, so let's dive into the freelancer, which fortunately, since I've only just resumed doing it, there's really not too much to cover, as I'm just easing myself back into the content, producing content and doing work. And I am, what am I, like a third of the way through doing upgrades, which is a good first thing to kind of get yourself reacclimated to things. And you never know, during an upgrade you might find things that you need to fix anyway. Nice small things, you know. But yeah, I need to finish those upgrades. That's what I'll do this week. Although I don't see it taking too long. It should probably be done by Tuesday, maybe Wednesday at the latest. So we'll see. But I really don't want to push myself too hard. One, I'm still reacclimating. And also, the turmoil with regards to my honey bunny, it's still going to be a distraction. I mean, well, you know how it is. Two people care for each other. If one isn't feeling good, the other worries about them. At least, I think that's how it's supposed to work. That's certainly how it's feeling for me. So, you know, your mileage may vary, I suppose. Alright, we are another minute short. So now it's like almost the 14-minute mark again, but I didn't stall long enough. This is why we're reacclimating it, so that I can kind of get the timing working again. But I will wrap it up now. Have to do my taxes. Obviously, I'm not going to be very eager about that. I mean, who is eager about being forced to fork over money? You know, they don't even... You know, if they sent you like a candy bar or something, I mean, it wouldn't cover it, but you know, it'd be like, yeah. Right now, it's like, you don't file your taxes, we send guys with guns after you. It's like, well, if I do file my taxes, well, okay, we're not going to send the guys with guns after you. It's like, come on. Can't you be nice about it? I mean, even if you have kids and they do their chores, I mean, what kind of parent says, okay, yeah, you're supposed to do them? And they say, yeah, good job. Okay, you know, here's a cookie. That's it. I want a cookie from the IRS. All right. I'll wrap this up for now. Thank you for joining me. Cool Kid Words about liking and subscribing, commenting, and suggesting. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of this Saturday, wonderful weekend, or wonderful day, night, whenever you watch this. And I hope you join me tomorrow when I resume my freelancer content. But until the next time you join me, I hope that you take care and God bless.